Assalamualaikum and good day to our respected lecturer and to everyone watching this presentation. We are from Group A4. My name is Amina Rauda binti Zakaria, and today we will be presenting our video project entitled Apostasy and Freedom of Religion under Article 11 of Federal Constitution. So this topic falls under the Islamic legal system and represents one of the most sensitive and complex contemporary legal issues in Malaysia. The main issue identified by our group is the tension between the constitutional guarantee of freedom of religion under Article 11 and the Islamic legal objective of preserving faith known as Hifzu ad-Din under Maqasid al-Sharia. So this tension becomes particularly apparent when a Muslim seeks to leave Islam. As explained by Sheikh Salim Faruqi 2008, Islam occupies a special constitutional position in Malaysia, and this special status significantly influences how religious freedom is interpreted and applied, especially in relation to Muslims. Malaysia practices a dual legal system, where civil law and Sharia law operate side by side. While freedom of religion is constitutionally protected, apostasy involving Muslims raises complex legal, moral, and jurisdictional challenges that require careful analysis. In this presentation, our group will analyze apostasy from the perspective of Islamic jurisprudence, constitutional provisions, and Malaysian case law, while also highlighting differing scholarly opinions and proposing a balanced legal understanding. So I will now pass the presentation to my group member who will explain the Islamic legal foundation of apostasy.
Hi, my name is Nur Izziani Farhana binti Abdulhamid. Now, moving on, from an Islamic legal perspective, apostasy or riddah refers to the act of leaving Islam after embracing it. According to Rudolf Peters and Gert de Vries, 1976, apostasy has historically been treated as a serious offense in Islamic law due to its implications for religious and communal stability. One of the most relevant principles here is Hifz al-Din, the protection of religion, which is a core objective of Maqasid al-Sharia. This principle has been discussed by Taha Jabir al-Alwani, 2011, who emphasized that Islamic law aims to preserve faith while recognizing moral responsibility before God. At the same time, the Quran clearly states that there is no compulsion in religion, which support the view that faith must be based on sincere belief rather than coercion. Scholars such as Abdullah Said and Hassan Said 2004 argue that coercive punishment contradict this Quranic principle. Therefore, Islamic legal views on apostasy are diverse, ranging from strict classical interpretation to more contextual modern approaches. This diversity becomes especially relevant when apostasy is examined in a modern constitutional system like Malaysia. Next, my group member will explain the constitutional and legal framework governing apostasy in Malaysia.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Din Zikri bin Muhammad Khairi. So, thank you, Izdiani. In Malaysia, the issue of apostasy must be analysed within the framework of the Federal Constitution, particularly Article 11, which guarantees that every person has the right to profess and practice his or her religion. At first glance, this provision appears to provide broad protection for religious freedom and individual choice. However, as highlighted by Masoom and Nahruddin Ahmad 2013, Article 11 does not expressly state whether this freedom includes the right to live one's religion, especially in the case of Muslim. This lack of explicit wording has resulted in legal ambiguity and has become one of the core challenges in apostasy cases in Malaysia. This constitutional freedom is further restricted by Article 11 Clause 4, which allows both and federal state law to control or restrict the propagation of religious doctrines among Muslims. This provision reflects the constitutional intention to safeguard Islam as the religion of the Federation while still allowing freedom of religion for non-Muslims. In addition to that, Article 121 Clause 1A plays a crucial role in apostasy cases. This provision removes the jurisdiction of civil courts over matters that fall within the jurisdiction of the Sharia courts. As a result, civil courts are constitutionally barred from deciding issues related to the Islamic personal law, including matters of apostasy involving Muslims. The landmark case of Lina Joy and Majlis Agama Islam Wilayah Persekutuan 2007 and was analysed by R. Siva Perasagam Rajantiran clearly established that matter relating to apostasy fall under the exclusive jurisdiction of the Sharia courts. Because Islamic law is administered at the state level, procedures governing apostasy differs across Malaysian states. This leads to inconsistency, administrative delays, and legal uncertainty for individuals seeking to change their religious status. These challenges illustrate the difficulty of balancing constitutional freedom with Islamic legal authority in Malaysia. Now, I will pass the presentation to my group members to discuss about different scholarly opinions and critical evaluation.
My name is Nabil Iman bin Khairul Fadli. Now let me begin on my part, which is differing scholarly opinions and critical evaluation. So, scholarly opinions on apostasy are not uniform and have long been the subject of debate within Islamic legal discourse. In general, these opinions can be divided into three main approaches, each of which is grounded in different interpretive methodologies, legal reasoning, and historical contexts. Understanding these differing perspectives is important in appreciating why apostasy remains such a complex and contested issue, particularly in modern constitutional states. First, traditional scholars rely heavily on classical interpretations of the Sunnah and early scholarly consensus. From this perspective, apostasy is viewed as a serious offense that poses a threat not only to individual faith, but also to religious unity, communal harmony, and political stability. As discussed by Morgan and Jasni Sulong 2020, classical punishments for apostasy were closely connected to the socio-political realities of early Islamic societies, where religion, governance, and social order were deeply intertwined. In this context, apostasy was often perceived as an act that could destabilize the community and weaken the authority of the Islamic State. Secondly, modern and reformist scholars such as Abdul Saeed adopt a more contextual and rights-based interpretation. They argue that apostasy should be treated primarily as a matter of personal belief, conscience, and individual moral responsibility rather than as a criminal offense subject to state punishment. This approach places strong emphasis on Quranic principles of religious freedom, particularly the notion that faith must be based on sincere conviction. According to this view, imposing punishment for apostasy undermines the voluntary nature of belief and contradicts the ethical foundations of Islam itself. Moving on, a middle ground approach, as discussed by Nick Wajiz and Muhammad Noor Azman 2018, attempts to reconcile classical jurisprudence with contemporary realities. This approach suggests that punishment should not be imposed for apostasy based on private belief alone. Instead, legal consequences should only arise when apostasy is accompanied by acts of sedition, public provocation, or conduct that threatens public order and societal stability. This perspective seeks to preserve the objectives of Islamic law, while recognizing the need for proportionality and contextual application in modern societies. From a critical evaluation, the strict and literal application of classical rulings without adequate consideration of present-day social, political, and constitutional contexts may lead to injustice and legal rigidity. Such an approach risks ignoring the realities of pluralistic societies and constitutional governance. At the same time, adopting an unrestricted notion of religious freedom without any form of legal or institutional guidance may undermine the authority of religious institutions and also weaken the role of Islamic law within the legal system. Therefore, it is submitted that a contextual, balanced, and principled interpretation is necessary. Such an approach should respect Islamic legal objectives while also engaging meaningfully with constitutional values, human dignity, and social harmony. This balanced perspective offers a much more sustainable way forward in addressing apostasy within Malaysia's unique legal framework. So, that is all. From my part, I will now hand over to our final speaker for the overall conclusion.
Hello, my name is Rahim Lanat and I Laki Murali. Okay, thank you very much to Nabil. In conclusion, apostasy in Malaysia reflects a complex interaction between Islamic law and also the constitutional principles. While Article 11 of the Federal Constitution guarantees freedom of religion, its application to Muslims is shaped by Sharia jurisdiction and the objective of preserving faith under Maqasid al-Sharia. The dual legal system, combined with differing state procedures, creates uncertainty and inconsistency in apostasy cases. Landmark decisions such as Lena Joy demonstrates the judiciary's consistent deference to Sharia authority. Our group concludes that apostasy should not be viewed solely as either an absolute constitutional freedom or a purely religious offense. Instead, Malaysia requires a harmonized and consistent legal approach that respects constitutional guarantees while upholding Islamic legal principles. Thank you for watching our presentation, and that's all from us.